Hey guys, so this in the background is the Denver-Oakland game on a Sunday afternoon. We were parked at St. Vrain State Park. We've been here for about a week and a half, and we're leaving in a few days. But it's a Sunday afternoon, and all our neighbors have left, and yet they're all filled back up again with new folks coming in. The change of guard, which is really typical at just about every RV park in America. The weekenders cut out, and the long haulers, I guess, fill the spots. We're going to be heading down to Arizona in just a couple of days, but this video is about our comms, our Wi-Fi, and the experience that we've had going through several different options for Wi-Fi as well as TV. Most all of us are staying tuned in with television, with our streaming services and so forth. You know, I'd like to say that we're all rugged, you know, off the grid kind of folks, but for those of us who are living full time and working, or certainly staying in touch with our families and friends and so on, it's critical that we have good connections and, you know, have some entertainment as well as the news and so on. So stay tuned. Let me tell you what we've been through, the money we've wasted, and what our solution is now that might just be the best kept secret for RVers across the country. So let's get right to it. So any of us who have, and by the way, it's estimated now that there's about 1.2 million of us out there living full-time in an RV, most of us on the road, doing some degree of traveling. I would bet, although I can't find any statistics for it, that the majority are working. Obviously, there's a good chunk of folks that are retired, but the bottom line is that we are out here and we're not cut off. We are communicating with friends, family, and in a work environment. In our case, we are running our charity. We're communicating with donors. We are reaching out to food banks. We're certainly doing tons of social media to give voice to food banks in small towns. So that's our deal. But there's plenty of people. There's engineers, software folks. There are accounting. There's all sorts of service-related people. There's salespeople. There are mortgage people, investment folks that are traveling the nation in an RV, and we need Wi-Fi. And as most of you know, the Wi-Fi that's offered, first of all, not every campground. We're staying at a beautiful park in Colorado, just north of Denver, St. Vrain, and they don't have Wi-Fi. Lots of parks do. Some, the Wi-Fi is not bad. Most of them aren't great. So if you're like us, and you're like hundreds of thousands, if not a million of the million too, you have some sort of Wi-Fi. So the options are, well, let's talk about what we have done. And I want to kick this off by telling you, unlike a lot of YouTube creators that you see reviews for different products, we have no relationship with any of our Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi options I'm going to talk about. We have no, frankly right now, the only thing that we are hoping to gain a little income from is our YouTube channel. So like, subscribe, help us out. Okay, so here's what we did. When we kicked this thing off back in the beginning of April, we decided we wanted to go all in. So we examined the marketplace and we looked for the best option for Wi-Fi. And as of this time, there really isn't a good portable satellite internet or broadband solution. Elon Musk is doing his Starlink thing. I don't know of anybody that has it in an RV, but I'm sure that will come. So you're limited to cellular Wi-Fi. So then we get into the different options, the way that you can capture that cellular Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi plans that you obtain. So what we decided to do was to spend the money. And here you can see this was our first month with the provider that we used, which in turn has a contract with T-Mobile. So we purchased 500 gig per month of T-Mobile Class 71 service. And we also purchased an antenna up on our roof that's kind of like, a Wi-Fi Ranger on overdrive. And we were told, we were assured that this would be the best option that we could have and that we'd have coverage everywhere and so on. And I will tell you, this was a bust. So I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. However, maybe our experience, and this is what I want to emphasize throughout this, I'm talking about our experience. So our experience was awful. We couldn't get we never got awesome speed, especially if we attempted to run more than one or two devices off of the router. So we have an antenna on the roof that's capturing this T-Mobile signal that's supposed to be high speed. Then we have a router that's placed, that's been affixed in the middle of our rig, and then you grab it with the different devices in your RV. So we never had luck with it. In fact, we traveled, as any of you following us, you know that we've just come back from 3,000 miles in the Pacific Northwest, Northern California, and so on. We weren't able to use this system at all. So for 3 months, we paid $252 a month for 500 gig of this service, and we weren't able to use it one bit. So we also, as a backup, we thought, all right, we'll keep our Mifi 1000, the Verizon. This is a 5 gig device, so it's capable of capturing 5 gig. But their plans will only allow you 30 gig of its unlimited data, but they will only give you 30 gig of high speed. So what would happen is, in literally about a day and a half, 2 days, we'd burn through our Verizon allotment of high speed, and then it would just run at low speed, which was a snail's crawl. You could barely stream a show. It would take, in some instances, up to 4 hours to upload a YouTube video. So And as far as I know, and this is as of June, this was the best option that a consumer, a residential customer, can obtain from Verizon for high speed. Again, they call it unlimited data. It's not unlimited data, and they did not offer, it's not unlimited high speed, and they did not offer an unlimited high speed. So what happens is you use your allotment, and then it throttles down to a low speed, which is a crawl, okay? So then we were on our way back from this 3,000-mile journey. We were in Reno. We were parked next to these folks that were also full-time, also using internet to stream television or Netflix and so forth, and use it for communication. They weren't working, but they need internet like everybody. And they suggested to us the option provided by FMCA, which is a Mifi 8000 tied to a T-Mobile plan, which allows you to call your own usage as to when it will throttle down from high speed to low speed, if you want to call it, just like Verizon. And it allows you up to 1,000 gig per month. We have never used more than about 200 gig with the old T-Mobile setup. However, that's because we never really got a signal. We've been using it now for, we have 13 days left in the cycle, so that means that we've been using it for 17 or 18 days, and we've used 296 gig. So what that tells me, and it's high speed, connectivity has been awesome, and the price is, number one, you have to be a member of FMCA, Family Motor Coach Association, and which costs, I think, about $80 a year. And secondly, you pay a $39 one-time rental fee, and the monthly cost for this essentially unlimited high speed is only $49 a month. They said, we've only had limited, we used it in Rollins, no we didn't. We've only used it here in Denver, in a place that I know the old T-Mobile system, I guess you probably figured out, we canceled the T-Mobile plan, so we wasted the money on the antenna, the router, but the T-Mobile plan we had for $252 a month, canceled. Second thing we did was we had Dish Network that we were paying, it just went up to $100 a month. We have a King satellite that we bought. We'll keep it on there. Canceled. Why? Because with this, we have the speed and the ability to use YouTube TV, which allows you to get all the cable channels and even local programming wherever you are. And you just advise YouTube on their website that you're at a different location. It allows you to stream cable channels. It's the only provider like Hulu, TV, and whatever that I know of that will allow you to be mobile and get TV channels. So let's recap what this does for us. We were paying $252 a month for the Wi-Fi plan that was through T-Mobile, Class 71 service, yeehaw, and versus $49.95 a month for the Sprint T-Mobile service offered through FMCA. Where we were paying $100 a month, for Dish Network versus, call it $70 a month for YouTube TV. So we're saving $230 a month in this move. And I have to tell you, it's nuts. We couldn't, like I said earlier, 1 or 2 devices on the old T-Mobile system with the router, and it would collapse. This thing, we've had multiple devices, my desktop, my wife's laptop, 2 TVs, the phones, iPads, and it really hasn't choked. Every once in a while, it's slowed down a little bit on streaming, but I mean, it is more than adequate, and the savings is huge. So if you're not a member of FMCA, go out there and join and get their TechPlus set up. I am super happy. And again, the folks that referred us to it or suggested us that we grab it, they have been all over the country, and they claim that other than one instance in the backwoods of Alabama or something, they had a problem, but we're going with it. So I want to pass this along, but I want your suggestions as to what you're doing. Perhaps some of you have had a different experience with the FMCA Mifi 8000 T-Mobile setup. What are you doing then? Because obviously for most of us, like so many things in RV life, it's a work in progress. But thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, give us your comments, and let's have a discussion. But thank you from Rolling Help.